Let's go! SleezBall here. Welcome to my YouTube channel. This is going to be my wide receiver tiers list for week 4. So I'm going to give you my baller tiers at the top, which I think is going to be the top 5 scorers of the week. Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3. And then it says sleepers, but that's pretty much Tier 4 and sleepers. And then you're going to see the wide receivers from 1 to 10 here. This is Fantasy Pros, ECR Experts, Tyreek Hill to Amon-Ra St. Brown is 1 through 10. Chris Olave to Tyler Lockett at the end over here is 11 through 20. And I'm going to mix and match my own thoughts per matchup on what I think the wide receiver ranking should be this week. And then you're going to see 12 wide receivers over here in the box. These are going to be guys I will throw in depending on where I think in the matchup and possibly sleepers, and talk about at the end either way about how I think their week's going to go. And as always, guys, if you like the content, like and subscribe. Help your boy out. I'm trying to bring you the best fantasy football content to help you win your leagues. And let's start balling, baby. Okay, so at number 1, they think Tyreek Hill versus Buffalo. You can go either one, but until you stop this man, I can't take him out of the one spot. He's going to get the star pretty much every week. Justin Jefferson has 149, 159, 149 receiving every game. 150-yard average. He's going to break 2,000 at this rate. He gets the Carolina Panthers. I mean, I know Justin Jefferson has 1 touchdown on the year. He also, fumbled a touchdown in the end zone, which cost him, a lot of points that game. He's unstoppable at this point. It's almost like you can compare him to Jerry Rice at his age right now. He looks like he's on GOAT status track all the way. So smooth through routes, double coverage, doesn't matter. He's always going to be my 1 for now. Number 2 is going to be the Cheetah. This offense is out of this world right now. Tyreek Hill and Tua look like MVP candidates combined together. The Dolphins look like they can't be stopped. They dropped 70 points last week without Waddle. So, I mean, you got Raheem Mostert, who's the number 1 running back in fantasy football right now. Tua, the number 1 quarterback. Tyreek, the number 1 wide receiver. I believe he's number 1 in half PPR. Hang on. My voice is losing me right now. Yes, Tyreek is number 1 by 3 points. So, I mean, all number 1s, this offense is a must start, no matter who it is. Doesn't matter. All of them always must go. I'm going to follow right along suit here with Jamar Chase at number 3. The Bengals finally found out how to use Jamar Chase last week against the Rams, or last night against the Rams. Moving him in the slot as the safeties come up to double zone, double cover zone over the top, it gets him more open across the middle. He was smoking the cornerbacks. It was unbelievable. And Joe Burrow was at his quick release rate because of his calf injury. And now they get the Titans. The Titans are the worst defense versus the pass in the NFL. This is a smash Jamar Chase game. I even thought about putting him 1, but Justin Jefferson is out of his mind right now. Following right along suit at number 4, Diggs and Josh Allen are back on track. I got the hiccups at the worst time. Going against Tyreek Hill, you got to have a shootout game when you're going against the Dolphins. This offense is so potent that the Bills are going to have to keep up, and Diggs is going to feast. I feel like Diggs and Tyreek, all 4 of these guys are pretty much 20-point hitters for me this week. At number 5, I'm going to mix it up. 18 receptions last week for Keenan Allen. Mike Williams is now out. 46 fantasy points for Keenan Allen last week. He has been an absolute steal in fantasy drafts. He never should have fallen as far as he falls. As long as he's healthy, he is a superstar talent at all times. And now he gets the Raiders, and Justin Herbert against the Raiders averages on his career 320 yards passing a game and a 14-1 TD ratio. I literally just tweeted that. That's how I know that stat. I mean, I have Keenan Allen, all 4 of these guys, 20-point smash plays this week. Heading into tier 1. Now I'm going to mix it up here. This is where it's time, man. CeeDee Lamb has got to have one of these big games here soon. He's one of my favorite players to watch. And right now at the moment, CeeDee Lamb, where is he? He is wide receiver 19, averaging 12.6 in half PPR. That is not CeeDee Lamb numbers. I expect it to be a big game because they play the Patriots. The Patriots are pretty much run first stopping, but the scary part could be is that Belichick likes to take away the number one. So if you look back when Tyreek last week played the Patriots, they slowed him down to 12 points, and stopping Tyreek Hill to 12 points is a win, even though they lost the game, but it is a win on defense. That is kind of the only thing that's scary about CeeDee Lamb this week, but I feel like he's due for one of those big monster games, man. At number 7, we're going to go A.J. Brown. But this is like a tempered, God, he looked good, man, against Tampa. He's back. He argued with Jalen Hurts on the sideline, give me the ball more, give me the ball more, and he got fed the ball on Monday Night Football against Tampa Bay. But Tampa Bay is weak in the secondary, so I expected him to have a big game. They get the Commanders. The problem here is the Commanders just got blown out the building by the Bills. Like, I think the Bills defense had 33 points in half PPR fantasy, which is insane. Sam Howell had a 0. So, and now they get the Eagles D. So this is like why I'm going to temper Devonta Smith and A.J. Brown stats. I feel like this will be a DeAndre Swift, Kenneth Gainwell, maybe Rashad Penny, Boston Scott run out this clock game. They're going to roll through the Redskins, the Commanders, like it's nothing. At number 8, the man that said, I'm not waiting around. The Raiders, God, I feel bad for Devontae Adams. He should be on the phone. Him and DeAndre Hopkins should be on the phone right now with the Chiefs or their agent or whatever they got to do. And be like, how do I get to Kansas City, man? Because if you could imagine Devontae Adams with Patrick Mahomes, my goodness, it would be unbelievable. But this week, Devontae Adams, I mean, he blew up against the Steelers last week. We don't know if Jimmy G's going to pass concussion protocol or not. The Raiders get the Chargers. I mean, the Chargers defense is bad. This is another smash Devontae Adams play. Probably should have put him, above CD and AJ. I just had this weird feeling that CD goes off this week. But all these guys are must starts either way you look at it. But I'm going to put Devontae at 8 just because I feel like last week's going to get him more coverage after what happened last week with the Steelers. Number 9, are you ready? We're mixing it up already. I am going to go with the Puka Nacua at number 9. So against the Bengals, they bracketed him hard. If you watch, if you follow over Twitter or watch any of the replays or whatever it was in the game, Puka was getting full doubled, full bracketed almost like 70% of the game when I was watching it. And the Rams offensive line got mad injuries, man. They got crumbled. So he didn't even have that much time to get open. They were just blitzing nonstop at the end. Now they get the Colts. The Colts are very, very bad. I think they're third worst versus the pass. And this is all off my head. I'm not like reading anything at the time. I expect Puka to have one of these 15 target smash play games. But there is something to think about here. So Cooper Kupp, the update last week. There's been no update this week. But last week that he's ready to go week 5. I haven't seen that he's practiced or nothing. I would kind of be on the sell now on Puka if I owned him. I know Cooper Kupp still carries a lot of injury risk with his age and the hammy already happening twice. But I just feel like Matt Stafford loves Kupp so much that Puka will become, like a 6 to 7 target guy, minimum or maximum. Coming after Cooper Kupp comes back. But I do expect a big, big game right here this week. So if he has a big game, this would be the sell now time. At number 10, the Sun God. What? I'm not going to say like what's going on. I'm going to say like I'm waiting for this big Amon-Ra St. Brown game. Like I think he's averaging like 14.1. Okay. That's actually looking at the stats on that one. 14.1. And he's due for like a 30 bomb, but he draws Jair Alexander on Thursday. I mean, he's still so good that's why Josh Reynolds has looked good. If you notice the stats on Josh Reynolds, Amon-Ra is getting doubled. It's been a tough, and he's still putting up decent numbers. It's been a tough go to start. Could be another tough game for him, but I feel like it's like one of those CeeDee Lamb things. I feel like he's just going to have one of these big games on Thursday night in prime time. I have Amon-Ra at 10. At number 11, we are mixing it up again. Waddle. Just like Amon-Ra, coming out of concussion protocol. Like I said with Tyreek Hill and Stephon Diggs, this should be a shootout game. And in a shootout game with Tua as your quarterback and being part of that Dolphin offense, you want every piece of it. I feel like Waddle has a 15-plus big game here. I mean, I can see them scoring 40. I mean, as a team, again, I mean, this offense is unbelievable. So anytime the Dolphins are playing, I'm going to put these guys both top 15 always, every time. Heading out to number 12. This one's a little hairy. Chris Olave is a damn good player, man. But now the car is out. I know you get the gunslinger in Winston, but Winston could, he's such a 50-50 shot. You never know if he's going to throw 4 picks or have a good game. But he will take the deep shots to Olave. I like that a lot in this game. Like, I feel like it's going to be a big Olave game. Tampa Bay just got shredded by A.J. Brown. I mean, I'm putting him at 12 just literally because Jameis Winston. If Carr was in there, Carr was feeding him. He's over 100 yards a game. It would have been, top 10 play. But I'm going to put him at 12 just because Jameis Winston. At number 13, here we go. Get wild. Christian Watson, the athletic specimen, said he is good to go for Thursday night, and so is Aaron Jones. And Jordan Love has been impressive, man. I know that he won week 3 when Derek Carr got hurt and they were down 18-0 or 17-0, made the comeback. That's still a great comeback, and it's clutch, either way you look at it. And he's done all that without 2 of their best players. Now that Christian Watson is back, primetime game, no Gardner Johnson for the Lions. This should be an absolute smash Christian Watson game. I know you're supposed to temper expectations off a hamstring, but I'm full send. I'm such a fan of Christian Watson. It's kind of biased. I like him at 13. At number 14, Devonta Smith. This is what I was talking about, though. Tough game. Like, tough just game after watching the Redskins last week. They did not look like they were a 2-0 team, and that was the Bills D. Now you get the Eagles D, and the Eagles D was flying around. They're going to start to get healthier, too. They're missing a lot of pieces. I mean, Devonta Smith should be a top 10 weekly, but since they're playing the Commanders, I'm going to put him at 14 because I feel like the game script could get out of hand, and you won't see the full Devontae, ball out. It'll be more of a run game in this one to me. Number 15, Deebo Samuel. Now you see Ayuk over here on the left. I'm not sure how much Ayuk is even really going to play in this game. Again, I know that they're saying he's going to be healthy for this game, but you're playing the Cardinals. The Niners are 10 times better than the Cardinals. This should be mop them out the building game, which is why I have Deebo tempered at 15 too. I feel like it's going to be more CMC and Elijah Mitchell. Like, if he doesn't score in the first half, I don't know how much they're going to really play in the second half in this game. But I said that with the Cowboys last week, and the Cardinals beat the Cowboys. So maybe the Cardinals aren't this bad, but I feel like the Niners are a better coach team than the Cowboys, and they're not going to let that happen. At number 16, going with the same thing I said with Jamar Chase. I know that T. Higgins just had the butterfingers on Monday night, or he had the cramps or whatever was going on. He was dropping everything that was thrown at him, and they were hitting him directly in the numbers. That is uncharacteristic of T. Higgins. I don't expect that will happen again. He is a superstar wide receiver. They get the Titans. This is a smash Higgins, Chase game, Burrow, all of them. I don't think Mixon will have that good a game here. I feel like, Tennessee stops the run. Just like last week, Ford had 18 yards. Against the Saints, they had like 30 yards. I mean, they stuffed the run. So this will be full send pass Bengals all the way. Number 17. We're going to mix it up over here too. Staying away. The biggest steal of your fantasy draft right now has been Michael Pittman. Okay. Michael Pittman is one of 3 wide receivers in the NFL to have double-digit targets, double-digit points in every game, and he plays 99% of the snaps, the number 1 wide receiver snap count share in the NFL. Now he gets Anthony Richardson back. I knew it was Gardner Minshew. They get the Rams. Look what Jamar Chase just did to the Rams. Look what Higgins could have done to the Rams. That secondary is very young. And the offensive line for the Colts is a lot better than the Bengals, so they will stop the Aaron Donald pass rush a lot better than the Bengals did. So Burrow was just, chucking it quick. I feel like Michael Pittman has a very, very big game here this week. I like him at wide receiver 17. At wide receiver 18, DK Metcalf. If there ever was a blow-up game for DK Metcalf, this is it. The Giants on Monday night. This is going to be like watching the Giants is super, super rough right now. I know that they're saying the Saquon is back, which will help them a ton. But I don't know how the Giants went from a playoff team to how they look now. And Daniel Jones looks terrible. This should be smash DK. And I mean, Jay's season hasn't really been nothing. It's been the Lockett DK show. Everyone was saying that Jay season's coming to take Lockett's job. Dude, he's literally been a ghost. So I like DK at 18 to have a big week. At number 19, scary, scary, scary. Calvin Ridley. I was saying that he was going to be a top 5 wide receiver on the season. Now in week 2, so week 1 he came out with the big game, 20 plus points. Week 2, he had 2 touchdowns where his foot was like a centimeter out of bounds on tiptoe catches. So don't look at it like back-to-back 5-point games, which he had. But, you know, you have to look at it like that. But he could have had 2 touchdowns in week 2, too. And in week 3, Trevor Lawrence missed him wide open for a touchdown. So the production is there. I just don't know what's going on in Jacksonville right now. They're going to straighten it out. I definitely don't believe that Trevor Lawrence is this bad. I'm putting him down here because of the 2 games, but Calvin Ridley should be a top 10 every week wide receiver. It's just a struggle right now in Duval. At number 20, I'm going all the way over here. Volume is king in fantasy football. And Zay Flowers is averaging, 9.8. So he's not one of the guys that get 10 a game. 10, 10, and 9 targets in his first 3 games. That is insane value for a rookie. OBJ is hurt. Rashad Bateman got hurt last week. J.K. Dobbins is out. Mark Andrews didn't do anything, which was very weird against one of the weakest tight end defenses last week. And I know they get the Browns, which will be a tougher defense, but still, just get this guy in open space. Zay Flowers is so good. He just needs the ball in his hands. That's it. He's not getting, he has 1 deep ball this year. The rest are short and under, and they're all over him. They got to find a way to move him around, like my Jamar Chase conversation with the Titans. They got to start moving him into the slot, move him around, running back, bring him around, make the defense think more about him. He's so electric in the open field. It is crazy. I'm going to put him at wide receiver 20 this week. At wide receiver 21, Tank Dell. If you don't know who this guy is, get familiar, okay? This guy in half-point PPR right now is wide receiver 10 on the season. Okay, this is a big buy now if you can, but if the owner has him, they're probably not going to sell him off 2 20-point games. So he had 6 points, 20 points, 25 points, 50% snap share, 70% snap share, 88% snap share. He's just going up and up and up. He looks like a low-end wide receiver 2 in a pass offense that is pass-heavy, and C.J. Stroud is averaging 300 yards a game, and C.J. Stroud looks good. This Texans offense is no longer a joke. An amazing draft pick turned everything around. Nico Collins looks good. I like Tank Dell. Actually, I could have put him in the top 20 maybe, but I'm just not fully sold. He gets Pitt, and Devontae Adams just shredded Pitt, but I feel like it's going to be harder for a rookie to do than it is Devontae Adams. I'm not fully sold on it yet. At 22, the guy that I missed on just by a mile. And this guy, Mike Evans, you watch the Monday night game. This is his 10th season. He's going up for a one-handed grab. His body is getting hit in the back, and he's holding onto it with one hand. He's still the guy, okay? I think he's wide receiver 5 on points per game. Let me pull this up right now and make sure. He is wide receiver 5 in half-point PPR, averaging 18.7 points a game. I never thought that would happen with Baker Mayfield. It is unbelievable. He's a must start. He does draw a very tough matchup this week, though. If you've seen anything that happens with Lattimore. So Lattimore has shut down almost every receiver this year. Marcus Lattimore is no joke at corner. I thought that Darius Slay, and Darius Slay kind of locked down Evans till he got that touchdown at the end. But I know he dropped 1-2 where their hands were on it, but Mike Evans is almost a must start every time, and Chris Godwin's a ghost. So this is the Mike Evans show all the way. 23 is Amari Cooper. So Amari Cooper got the touchdown last week. I expected more from Amari in the Titans game, to be honest. I thought that he had a 20-point game. I think he had 15, 16, or 14. I don't know what it was. But now Amari Cooper, and then we're starting to click a little bit, but they get Baltimore. Baltimore's secondary is toasted, and their injuries in the offense is toasted. They haven't looked the same. They got the 2 wins, but they look rough. They just lost to the Colts. I mean, this should be a Browns win, in my opinion. But Deshaun Watson has not really showed that he's fully back yet. I don't know how many times we're gonna let this guy get away with the excuse of he hasn't played. He's had enough time now. He should be starting to click. They did look a little better against the Titans, but everyone does against the Titans. That pass D is terrible. That's what you expect. So I'll put Amari Cooper at 23, but it's a tough matchup, so that's why I'm putting him 23. 24 is George Go Get Him Pickens. This guy is electric. But again, this is like the same thing I'm talking about with the Browns right here. The Steelers, if you watch their first 2 games against good defenses, against the Niners and the Browns, they couldn't even move the ball. And now they get the Texans. The Texans defense is actually not bad. So, I mean, the Texans are no longer like a walkover team. They're clicking on all cylinders right now, which is why I have Pickens so low this week, because I feel like the matchup is going to be very tough against him. I feel like it will get better once Deontay Johnson gets back. I know that Calvin Austin broke a loose bomb last week, and that helps, but they're not really scheming for that. And Najee Harris, they can't run the ball for the life of them. So it could be more bracket for Pickens coming this week. I'm going to put him at 24 just because the matchup based. 25. So I'm leaving Tyler Lockett out. This is Justin Fields' time. If there ever is a time. They're playing the Denver Broncos, and DJ Moore should go off. The Dolphins just dropped 70. The Broncos defense is terrible, guys. This should be a smash play, but I have him at 25 just because Fields looks so terrible. I mean, I drafted him in Dynasty. I drafted him on a big 14-man league, and I don't even know what to do with him, man. It's you can't trade him. You can't do nothing. You just got to wait and see, and I hope that he figures something out here. They got to stop making him a pocket passer. They got to let him get loose. They got to let DJ Moore play off Justin Fields running and getting out in the open. I mean, I know he got a garbage time TD, but they were down 40-0 when he got the garbage time TD. That's not a good sign. This is the last chance for both of them that I keep, or even my quarterback video too, that I keep him up here probably. I'm going to put him at 25, but it's been rough to watch Fields. So that is my top 25. I'm going to talk about the other 6 in the picture. Tyler Lockett, I do like as a start against the Giants. Terry McLaurin. Now, the Commanders, man, Eagles. Let's make this easy here. This is what I think of McLaurin this week. Whoop, ghost. Ayuk, that I talked about already. I don't know how much he's going to play. I love Ayuk this season. That injury really hampered him. Like, even in week 2, he wasn't looking healthy in the game. And then they held him out week 3. Now we get the Cardinals. I honestly, as a Niner fan, think that we should hold him out again. We don't need Ayuk this week, but if he plays, I mean, he's obviously a talent on the field that you can't bench, but I would temper expectations with him. I don't think he's going to get the full volume snap share workload like you think from being a Brandon Ayuk owner. But he's startable to me. Chris Godwin. Every single person when the season started was on this. Chris Godwin put up 1,000 yards last year with an Achilles, and no one really does it that well. So this guy's averaging 5 points a game. He doesn't have the Brady, that quick shot across the middle anymore. I hate to say it, but it may be time to start looking to move Chris Godwin if you own him. I mean, 5 points a game is, I mean, look at Tank Dell. He has 60 and 3. Like, come on. We're going to ghost out Godwin. Nico Collins. I still like him as a play this week. Tank Dell's just stolen the show for now. Nico Collins is a startable receiver for sure. DeAndre Hopkins. Like I said with Devontae Adams, it's time to call the Chiefs, call your agent, get up out of there. Tennessee is where your career is going to die, man. That's not going to be a good look if it happens like that. I hope it doesn't. But you're too good to be there. I can't stand watching it. It ghost him out as well. Garrett Wilson. If you have not been following my tweets or videos for the past, since the injury to Aaron Rodgers, since then, it is time to cut bait and run, man. 8 points, 4 receptions, 2 receptions. Zach Wilson is trash. Breece Hall, get it. try and package a trade if you own Brees, if you own Garrett, if you own Dalvin. Unless the Jets, like, they should be looking to go get Andy Dalton right now after watching what he did for the Panthers. They need something. It is so bad with Zach Wilson. I mean, and Robert Saleh is like, this is our quarterback. He does not believe that. I do not believe that at all. But I can't play any Jets until then at all. It's so bad. It's unwatchable football. So that is it for my top 25, guys. I still like the bottom 3 as startable. If you guys like the content, as always, like and subscribe. Help your boy out. I'm trying to bring you the best fantasy football content to help you win your leagues. And as always, if you have any questions, drop them down below. I'll try to answer them as fast as I can. And my next video will be the tight end tiers and then the defense and kicker tiers. And then tomorrow I'll do all my stardom sit-ems. And then I'll start doing live videos after that. It just takes a while to pump everything out at the beginning of the week. Thank you guys for watching. Peace out.